This is an extra tutorial for any of you who are interested in making your own seamless texture. This tutorial will not be included in the document since it is not required for the workshop. Say you have an interesting material that you want to incorporate to your scene. This will be the tutorial for you. Over here, I have taken some photos around my house. This is a bad example because you can see the light streaks coming in, and it will be a difficult task to make it seamless. Another bad example is this photo, where shadow can be seen. Although sometimes it is still workable to remove the shadow, it is not worth your time. This is a good example because you have a somewhat flat texture with even lights all throughout. Another one is this example with wrinkles. This textures will be a little bit of a challenge because of a noticeable pattern, but we can work around it. So let's start with this simple texture. First, you want to unlock your layer. Use your rectangular marquee tool, or M. Select half of your image from left to right, and then you want to duplicate by pressing Ctrl J, and then go ahead and use your magic wand tool, or W, and select the other half of it. Go to the original layer and then duplicate by using Ctrl J, and then you can delete the original layer. Now, by using your moving tool, or V, you want to swap these two images so that the left is right and the right is left. After doing so, select both layers, right click on it, merge layers. Now there are two tools for you to make this seam in the middle go away. One of them is stamp tool, or you can type S, and what it does is it will sample by holding Alt and then click the image, and then you can go ahead and stamp the seam. Another tool that is useful is your healing brush tool. It's not the spot healing brush tool, the one with the little dotted circle, but you want the healing brush tool, or you can hit J. It's the same matter as stamp tool, but I will sample a specific area only and will lock onto that. The way to sample it is the same by holding Alt and select that area, and you can click. I find it easier to use stamp tool because you have more control of what pattern you select. So I'm switching back and I'm stamping them like so, and I can switch back to the other side. Try to make it as seamless as possible and be careful not to touch the edge too much, just enough. After done making this seamless, now you want to go back to your rectangular marquee tool and do that for the top half and the bottom half. So select the top half, duplicate by Ctrl J, use your magic wand tool, select the bottom half, go back to the original layer and duplicate again with Ctrl J. Now delete the layer underneath, swap the position with move tool, or V, and then merge the layer. Same step, use your stamp tool or use your healing brush tool. Now your texture is already seamless, but I like to go an extra step to make sure. Use your crop tool over here, or C, and then expand your canvas by dragging this corner up, or any way you want. After doing so, hit enter. Now, while selecting this layer, you want to duplicate the layer by using Ctrl J until you get 4 layers. Now just move them and place them next to each other like so. And you can go ahead and select all layers and merge them. Then you can go ahead, use your crop tool and crop the canvas to the extent of your image. Hit enter. Now as you can see here, it's somewhat noticeable, the pattern of the shadow, so I want to get rid of that by using the same technique, whether you're using stamp tool or you can use the healing brush tool, just J. Now after I'm happy with my textures, I can actually go ahead and customize the color and the way the shadow hits this image by going to this adjustment layers, which is under here, the black and white half circle. Click on that and you can open levels. It will show up this layer and it will have this properties tab. So you can drag the middle to change the light and dark balance, or you can drag the white over here, adjust it to your need. For example, this one I don't really need any adjustment, so I'm gonna undo that. And then let's say I want to change the hue of this image. Go to hue and you can drag this bar around and you can actually change to the color that you want. You can also go ahead and select this adjustment layer and go to color balance, and you can change the color even further. Now let's say I'm happy with this texture. You can go ahead, file, save as. I will always keep a Photoshop file of this image so that I can actually come back and readjust the color or retexture them. So go ahead and save that as PSD, but if you want to export it as an image, you can go ahead and drop this menu down and select PNG. Name it as the name that you want, so cotton, and hit save. Then it will pop up this window and hit OK. Now, for this wrinkly texture, the steps are the same, so you want to swap the left and right, top and bottom, and make them seamless. But the difference is, this is the example of me after swapping them left to right. You want to use your stamp tool and try to sample the wrinkle pattern and try to continue them and make them somewhat believable like that. And then you want to take even the flat side like so. So just be careful and understand your image closer, like how this pattern might bleed to the other side of the image. After you get it seamless like so, do the same step from top to bottom half, swap them, make them seamless, and then, as always, do the extra step. So this image consists of 4 images like before, how we did it before, but you can see the noticeable pattern. So go ahead and use your stamp tool or your healing brush tool to conceal all these patterns and make them more fluid, more random. Let's say after I made them kind of random like this, you can go ahead and do the adjustment layers like before. You can do the levels to adjust the light and dark balance. You can go and use hue or saturation to change the color, or you can use the color balance to slightly adjust the color.